right? See if we can get this shit together. There we go, man. So another PBC fighter get exposed without Daddy Al. Just like Daddy, come on, sunshine, feel the pain. Maybe I could take away the pain if you let me. Ain't no sunshine when now gone. Only dark times for you. Ain't no sunshine when now gone. Or you don't listen to them, end up like AB, Earl Spence, Deontay. So, Adrien Broner, it was typical Adrien Broner tonight. Didn't throw no punches early. Niggas been asking him to move his hands since he arrived on the prize fighting scene. Um, Blair Cobb came out hot, came out quickly, stuck it to Adrien Broner, dropped him with a big left hand, landed a couple more left hands, but he missed the other big ones. Knocked out Adrien Broner. Tooth it allegedly looked like. Adrien Broner mouthpiece kept falling out his mouth. So I think he was kind of fatigued and probably got that mouthpiece from Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Walmart is always hiring. He probably got that mouthpiece from Walmart. Rick Ross walked him to the ring. All he did was talk. AB and pay him enough money. He probably did it for the free. The rap. That nigga AB night. This AB night. Yeah, it's about AB. That nigga didn't even rap. He just won't hold me back. He ain't even rap. Nigga just talked. He came to that small venue and Blair, Flair, Cobb. Woo! Make sure the thumbs up button. Blair to Flair, Cobb. Woo! He whooped Adrien Broner out, boxed him. The Southpaw was, dashing through these hoes on a one-horse open sleigh. Over the Cincinnati washed up Negro. Flair went all the way. Smack, smack, smack. And then, kind of like Matthew Stafford used to do in Detroit. We get down by like 50. Then that motherfucker want to start padding his stats. That was Adrien Broner. After he was out here getting smoked like some wings from motherfucking he like getting smoked from some wings at the bar and shit, man. He wanted to start throwing punches at the end and shit. It was one nigga that was yelling, "Nigga, throw some punches. Yeah, hey, man, you just can't walk him down. You gotta move your hands." We've been saying this shit for over 10, 15 years about Adrien Broner moving his hands. We've been saying this about 10 to 15 years. He ain't moved his hands in over a decade. He ain't moved his hands in over a decade. The boy body looks soggy and shit. Like he just left some cinnamon toast crunch in a bowl full of milk. That nigga was out here looking soggy. That nigga abs was doing the lean with it, rock with it, lean with it, rock with it. That motherfucker body looked like a starving Ethiopian kid. And they just gave him all the meals he can eat in the last 24 hours. Nigga face look old, beard look old, nigga hands look old, foots look old. This shit was for this production. Tubi had better production than this shit. My phone, they could have shot that shit on the Samsung and got better production than this shit. The microphones, you barely hear the announcers and shit. They ain't know nothing about the fighters. Shit was trash. Shit was Triller should be rolling over in their grave for putting this shit out. They could have put a verses with it. Shit, you know what I'm saying? They could have put a verses with it. This shit was trash. You know what I'm saying? Blair came out, boxed him, hit him with some shit. AB lost a tooth. AB round there. Make sure I thumbs up the video. AB round that motherfucker. That motherfucker look old as hell. That nigga look like the old ass Elmer Fudd on dope. That nigga look like he was on meth out there. Man, and that nigga look like Adrien Shameless Broner. He thought Coach Calvin was gonna shave him. Coach Dollar Bill Kenny Ellis, they couldn't tell that nigga nothing. Coach Kevin Cunningham said, that nigga trash. I'm dropping him. Dropped his ass. Dropped his ass like Diddy had Biggie dropped at that light in LA. Yeah, I said it. Dropped his ass. Man, dropped his ass like Diddy had Tupac dropped at the light too. Al Heyman somewhere rolling. Picture me rolling. Al like, I got keys coming from overseas. Bought it with Adrien Broner, Manny Pacquiao money, my nigga. Floyd somewhere rolling, cause you know he hate them niggas that took his bitches and shit. You know, AB one of the niggas like Ray J that and Tank, you know, they said Tank did the funky chicken with his daughter and shit, allegedly, you know. Said he took her to Pound Town. Get it sexy, get it sexy. Oh man. Well, Blair the Pair Cobb, he came out there, he saw he conquered Philadelphia, just a better fight city than Cincinnati now. Adrien Broner talking about he had guns and he had Mac 11s and he caught bodies. Well, the feds probably waiting for him in the back. And nigga ran off like a bitch that say the child is not his no more. That nigga ran to the back when he lost. He really thought he won. He ran to the back. Oh my God, it's not Tyrone, baby. It's not Tyrone. He ran right to the back. He didn't want to talk. He didn't want to say, I still gonna come see AB because people trash. The niggas done coming to see AB. Hit the thumbs up. People done coming to see AB. They might come see BA, but not AB. He couldn't even say, I still gonna come see me. Hell no. Without Al, trash. Earl Spence without Al, trash. Deontay without Deontay Wild without Al, trash. Earl Spence, when he don't listen to Daddy Al, trash. And watch Gervonta Davis lead Al Heyman. Oh, buddy, he gonna really think, hey, what's that movie with the dog, Bolt? He was an acting dog, and then he got let out into the real world, and he thought his powers worked in the real world, and he was just a regular motherfucking dog. That's gonna be Tank ass. He gonna get out there in the real boxing world and think he gonna, nigga gonna hype him up. Yeah, you could beat Shakur, you could beat Lomachenko, you could beat Devin Haney. Yeah, you could beat Ryan Garcia without steroids and Ostarine without weight training. Man, I think you can even go up and beat Jerron Boots Ennis. I think you can do it. That nigga gonna get in there with Blair Cobb and get his ass whooped too. Trash without Al Heyman. These niggas is mundane, trash. Come on, crash out Tank. Come on, crash out Tank. That nigga leave Al and fight Blair Cobb. That's what happened to that nigga too. That nigga leave Al and fight Blair Cobb. He gonna get his ass whooped too. Oh man. Them niggas gonna be working at Walmart together. Shit, we're brothers. We happy and we single when we color. Do. Give me a hop. And Floyd gonna be their manager. I heard the feds holding his money allegedly. Lying and telling niggas, I'm doing the gold deal. Yeah, all right. You doing a gold deal, all right. Saudi's gonna put you in gold bracelets and shit, man. You gonna have your daughter go over there and get dookied on and peed on for you to get free from over there. Oh man, this shit is crazy, man. Broner been cooked. He been cooked since the Pacquiao fight. He been cooked. This nigga been done with boxing. When he took that layoff, it's a wrap. Look about everybody that took layoffs recently in sports. Look at everybody took layoffs. Ben Simmons ain't been the same. Deshaun Watson ain't been the same. You gotta understand, these niggas can't even fight 4 times a year without breaking something or getting a hangnail and without fighting. These NBA players can't even play back to back without getting hurt no more. The NFL players can't even do 2-a-days no more without bitching complaining. This ain't your grandfather's father. Motherfucker, this ain't your father's. This ain't your father's athlete. Shout out to Hustle Ream. He said AB is watch, go sell them bricks real one track. Oh, as soon as he touch a brick, the Fed's gonna be on his ass. The Fed's gonna be on his ass. And he gonna be broke as hell when the Fed's watching. He ain't gonna be fresh as hell. He gonna be broke as hell when the Fed's watching. I thought he was running to the back to get the strap like old buddy off above the rim. I thought, oh shit, Blair won. Blair started quickly giving that nigga compliments. Hey, B, this is a dream come true. I had a dream that one day on my vision board I'll fight Adrien Broner. And it came true. And Adrien Broner neck, yeah, his neck is big. Pause. He had a big back too, but he had a good back. He had a good neck. Pause. That nigga start giving him credit because AB is a lunatic. AB went to his everlast bag in the back and then came back and shot that nigga. That nigga Blair started copping plea. Oh, Adrien Broner's a great fighter. It was a dream to fight a washed up Adrien Broner. It was a drop. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazines. Schoolie D and Benny Single up in the magazines. Hanging pictures on my wall. Every day I dreamed about Adrien Broner on my vision board. That nigga start copping please. Thumbs up the video so people can see this, y'all. That nigga start copping please and shit, dog. Nigga start sounding like James Brown. Please, please don't go. That nigga really believe niggas gonna kill for Adrien Broner. Look, niggas kill for niggas who got money who can get them out of jail. Adrien Broner whole check probably went to child support now. Hey with this shit. And then got his check in the back. The bitch said $100. That shit going to Coach Kenny and Coach Calvin. That nigga check probably said $100, dog. That nigga check. Hey, 90% of them went back to Al, back to Don King. 5% of them went to Al. And 100 left going to Coach Kenny and Calvin and shit. They gonna make some more penitentiary Cinnabons and shit. Oh man, they gonna make some more penitentiary Cinnabons for Take 24/7. Well, Amazon is probably like 48.6 or some shit. 24 16 hours. Amazon, they claiming them niggas, man. It's like that fat bitch you got coming in at night. You'll claim that bitch. You hope one of your neighbors ring doorbell for that ugly bitch you got coming over tonight. You hope one of your neighbor ring doorbells don't catch that shit. Oh man. PBZ versus Don King versus 5. I got Don King. Oh my God, dog. Frank Martin beat Tank. I swear to God, we throwing a party. I don't even drink right now. We going to get some champagne. We going to get some Patron, though. What we drinking? Patron, Cosmigos. Get a couple of the Mexican bitches from my apartment complex to come through and shit. Oh man. This shit was worse than Tubi. This like one of the bootleg movies you get. This shit had the clarity of the R. Kelly sex tape. This shit, R. Kelly sex tape had better production than this shit. Triller should be ashamed. Man. McGraw Ave was shot on better cameras than this shit, dog. Shoot better. Yeah, see, shoot better production. He said that was a low budget bootleg broadcast, all dot key cards like 90s. Man, this shit looked like 1950s Dracula footage and shit. Wizard of Oz before they remastered it looked better than this. But I don't know what Adrien Broner gonna do. But Walmart is always hired. Nigga about to go work at Hertz and shit. Oh, he can go get hired to cut Floyd Mayweather grass. Well, that nigga broke too. He gonna have to go cut Rick Ross glass. Drinking all the tequila gonna turn a Mexican if Tank lose. Man, Al Heyman gonna be gone. That nigga gonna fake his death like what's that nigga that was from from New York? He's from the Bronx that made that song "Fuck Compton." Tim Dog. He gonna fake his death like Tim Dog and shit with all their money and shit, man. But AB, bro, it's a wrap. And you can't take time off. I keep explaining. Roger told Floyd that when Floyd was telling Roger, like, he was like, man, it takes 6 months to build a pay-per-view. Roger, like, if you don't get your activity up, you're gonna be in trouble. You gotta get more active. And as you get older, it's more important that you get more active. And that goes for y'all in everyday life too. That's why I tell people, as you start to approach your 30s, if you ain't got into strength training and some type of conditioning training, get into it, because when you hit your 40s, all your lean muscles start falling off, and that's your your testosterone starts to drop. So you got to start doing things that boost your testosterone. Lifting weights, being more active, eating a little bit more cleaner, conditioning yourself. So, when you don't have homework, guess what? Most people ain't gonna study, right? If you ain't got homework, most people ain't gonna study unless your parents make you study, right? So if they ain't got a fight coming up, they can say, they've been in the gym all they want to. That's just going through the motions. So when they don't know when they not fighting, they ain't staying sharp, they ain't staying in shape, they ain't running with the wolves, they ain't training with other people. Them niggas enjoying their money. They cash apps from Al Heyman, only conditioning they getting is in the bedroom. You know what I'm saying? And what they gotta understand, all them people around them, all them women that's with them, when the ride is over, you know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna look just like Deontay Wilder. And all them family members that you kept giving money to, you kept helping. As soon as your money gone or you broke, hey, none of them niggas gonna help you do nothing. Ain't none of them niggas gonna offer you a place to stay. So you gotta make sure you optimizing your career. Even if it is taking a less money to stay active, that's what you got to do. Even if it's like Devin Haney, keep your flexibility where you can fight on different platforms and maximize your revenue. And I think it's more important to maximize your activity as a fighter. I really do. I think at this point, as an athlete, the way the way the food is not as nutritionist as it used to be. You know what I'm saying? You know, uh, and all these different sicknesses and viruses going around. I think it's more important for these guys to really eat right, really get correct, not smoke, not drink, and so to increase the longevity of their career. And a lot of times, a lot of these guys' careers is getting cut short just off the strength of only fighting once a year. You can't stay sharp because they fight once a year. Let's say nice and say they got 12 weeks to train for a fight once a year. Um, okay, they train for 12 weeks, and then after that, how many other weeks in the year? What, 36, 48 weeks in the year, whatever it is? They ain't doing shit but getting fat. Only activity they really doing is probably laying pipe at the crib, if that. Like I just used the analogy, if most of the time we didn't have homework, nigga, we wasn't opening them school books. You gotta stay active, or you gotta have a discipline to stay active. I mean, think about the fighters that you really never seen out of shape. Blair Cobb, I never seen him out of shape. Sean Porter, I never seen him out of shape. I seen Bud chubby after he won undisputed at 140 pounds, but really never seen him out of shape. Deontay Wilder, as far as physically, and we know he didn't run, never really seen him out of shape. Anthony Joshua, never really seen him out of shape. You know what I'm saying? The Charlo twins, say what you want to say. Them niggas always pretty much around. You don't never see them niggas walking around with a pot belly. Yeah, AB lost. He lost a unanimous decision. I think it was like 96, 93, 97, 93 or something like that. He dropped Blair Cobb in like the second round, hard as hell. Lost a tooth, kept dropping his mouthpiece out. A lot of times when you see the mouthpiece drop out like that, that means he didn't have a moldable mouthpiece and he was fatigued. So yeah, he lost. But yeah, man, these dudes got to get more active. And you be like, well, how do they get more active if they don't have the dates? Well, the promoters got to work together to maximize the dates. I think some of these dudes will start going, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, dude. This shit is free. I think a lot of these dudes need to start going on Australian tours and European tours. Just to get activity. Go on tours to get that activity. Without that activity, a lot of these dudes' careers gonna get cut short. For every guy named that the Russell brothers, you don't see them out of shape neither. But every guy named, there's 3 or 4 guys who not active. I mean, that's just human nature. Everybody not a gym rat. It's sad how a lot of fighters are going out. Henry, yeah, a lot of fighters going out like that because they not active. I mean, it's like that kid in the classroom who's smart and gifted. He do the work fast, but he always talking and getting in trouble because he not getting challenged. These guys are not getting challenged to their full capabilities. And when you got prospects fight once, twice, 3 times a year, I believe Floyd at one point in his career as a prospect fought like 10 or 12 times a year. Them guys should be fighting 7 to 10, 12 times a year, to be honest. And you be like, well, why is that important? Because if you fight too much, you hope you subject yourself to injury. No, it doesn't work that way. When you sparring more than you fighting, more injuries. Joel Diaz told me in an interview years ago that more injuries happen in sparring than a fight. So because you sparring 20 rounds, 30, 40, 60, 70 rounds, probably whatever it is. So these guys got to be more active or they're going to lose their fast twitch muscle fibers. And then also with the repetition, you continue to get better and better and better. So the more you do boxing, the more you damn near do anything, the more repetitious it is, the better you get. And then on top of that, you know what also make this shit bad? A lot of these dudes, when they get inactive, they got to strip the weight down and they like to stay at a weight that they don't belong at. You catch what I'm saying? So instead of moving up, they don't want to move up to like, you know, other weight classes because they're not as lucrative. So they killing themselves to stay at a weight class. It's just that it's hard. You got to keep these guys challenged. You got to keep them active. You got to keep them fighting. And it's hard when you overpay somebody to convince them to say to take less to stay active. So I mean, it's really messed up, bro. Because Adrien Broner was his inactivity came from he said, you know, PBC was giving him enough money to come back and fight. Who was he supposed to come back and fight like October some years ago, and he pulled out the fight? Was it Omar Figueroa? Which, you know, Figueroa was his mandatory at 135 pounds, which at that time I think AB would have smoked that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I think he might have smoked him then. And he said no. I think he pulled out of the fight, and he said it just wasn't enough money. And Al Heyman fucked the game up for them dudes. He spoiled them. It's like letting your kids eat dessert and not eat their vegetables for like 10 years, and then you trying to force them to eat squash and asparagus, and it's a wrap. And this is true in this boxer shit. This is true with kids. This is true in life. How you finish is usually how you gonna start. Now some people can have an epiphany, and you know, they can just, you know, they can get on it and say, you know what, I'm gonna get serious. You know, Tevin Farmer was one of those guys. When she fighting on the co-main event of on the top rank card July 13th. Some guys will be able can just say, okay, let me get it together, let me crank it up, and let me get serious, right? But usually how you start is how you usually finish. And you start these guys out with you know, irrational fight dates or up and down fight dates or activity here and then no activity. I mean, and you overpaying guys. Look at Chris Colbert. This motherfucker ain't won a title, was getting 500,000 for fighting, you know, as a prospect. Very highly talented guy at the amateurs, but you know what was his reason to be a world champion? It wasn't no reason. Nigga, I'm already a world champion. I invested my money. I don't have the ambition no more. And that was one of the things about young fighters, man. They was ambitious because they wasn't getting paid that much money, and then their ambition was, a lot of these guys' dream was to have that world championship belt. Now you see guys like Tank come in and say fuck the championship. You see Ryan come in and say fuck the title. So these guys not fighting for titles no more. They're not fighting for championships. They're not fighting to be Hall of Famers. They fighting for money. And then a lot of these guys come from poverty. They don't know what real money is. They get $3, $4, $5, $10 million, and they think that's real money. Nigga, you could be broke tomorrow with $10 million. You put $10 million in one bank account, and somebody hit a lick on your bank account. The bank is most banks only insure $250,000. You can lose $10 million tomorrow. Let's keep it real. You can lose $10 million tomorrow. You know, when I heard Byron Allen say when he bought the Weather Channel for like 3, 4, 500 million, he said that ain't no real money, and he right. So that little money they getting in boxing, that shit could be gone tomorrow, bro. So, you know, it's unfortunate that these promoters got to work together to keep these guys active. And you know what's so funny is everything in boxing they trying to justify the fuckery. Turkey Al-Sheikh come into boxing, people was like, oh fuck Turkey Al-Sheikh, and nobody go watch boxing at 5 or 6 o'clock, right? He said, you know what? Well, I'll do fights in the United States, and people, you know, starting to come around to it. But you got a guy that want to give y'all the fights. If them bitches on at 2 in the morning, I'm gonna watch it if it's the fight I really want to see. And not just because I'm covering the sport of boxing. Way before I covered the sport of boxing, I was watching all types of fights. I was more into boxing before I started covering it than when I started covering it. It was better. It was a better sport. I wish back in 2009 and 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and in the late 90s that they had the platform of YouTube. Man, I would be even better on talking boxing. It'd even be realer because we wouldn't have this gossip shit because motherfuckers actually fought. People actually fought. So when you got guys like Turkey Al-Sheikh coming in the box and they want to fix and make the fights you want to see, and people still giving pushback, that shit is sad, bro. In my opinion, a lot of these guys don't want to see their favorite fighter lose, and it's okay, man. I watched Roy Jones lose, bro. Y'all don't understand how bad that was at the time, man. Roy was a hero. Like, we looked at Roy. So I watched one of my favorite fighters, James Toney, lose to Samuel Peters twice. Couldn't stand that bitch nigga Samuel Peters. Who next? Who next? He was saying next like turkey next. Couldn't stand to Samuel Peters, the Nigerian Nightmare. But shout out to him. Hell of a strong ass punching motherfucker, right? You know, you see these things happen. I seen Martinez knock out Paul Williams. That was my boy at the time. I seen who was it? Carlos Quintana beat Paul Williams. And I think he came back and beat Paul. Paul Williams came back and beat him though. You know, I know a lot of y'all seen Marquez knock out Manny Pacquiao. This shit happens. You know, shit happens. That's life. You know, when Devin Haney lost, we like, okay, man, Devin Haney lost. Shout out to Ryan. You know, Ryan got the dub. It was what it was. Y'all, you know, ain't nobody was making excuses and saying nothing about you know, discrediting Ryan other than he blew off the weight, but I'll blame the Haneys. They took the money and, you know, it is what they should have walked away from the fight long before that. Niggas gave Ryan their credit, and a lot of people went as far as to say the ref was helping Devin Haney. A lot of black people said that. When he got caught cheating, then hey, all bets is off. Like, okay, nobody accused Ryan of cheating. We said, damn, you know, Derrick James might be trainer of the year. You know? But nobody talks about the objectivity. These motherfuckers just want to believe. They want to believe what they want to believe. Like, I haven't watched boxing in a long time. I've seen a lot of my favorite fighters losing, and it happens. It happens. Sometimes you see it coming. Most times you don't see it coming. You know, but, you know, for Adrien Broner, like, then, you know, what's your backup plan? He's a very smart individual. But just like a lot of smart people, man, you think this shit gonna last forever, bro. Like Keith Sweat. You think it's gonna last forever. You think you're gonna always be able to make that money back, and that money gonna be there. You have kids, you know, then you got child support, then these niggas got side bitches, then they got side hustles and gambling problems. In the grand scheme of things, that money ain't no real money. You know? You got to invest that money into something. You know? And maybe he will go back to the streets. You don't want to see the brother go back to the streets. You know? And it's going to be hard to come back and sell. But then again, it's time to get innovative. It's time to get creative. You know, I was listening to Minister Farrakhan say, you know, having two brothers, they complaining about how they can't take care of a family with this economy. Why don't you go get creative to find a way to make money? And I agree with him on that, but I'm not about to go out there and bust my ass to take care of no modern day bitch. I'm sorry. I do all this and she cheating on me and complaining. She leave after I build my financial empire. I'm sorry. All these old motherfucking ministers and reverends and all that shit, man. They thinking these the women that they came up with, which they wasn't shit neither. They just didn't know it. Make sure I thumbs up the video. But I agree with him. It's time we got to get creative, and there's a million different ways to make some money. And I give Adrien Broner some free game because I love Adrien Broner as a fighter. Seemed to be a good dude, bro. To be honest, I would just start a consulting forum if I'm Adrien Broner on how to promote fighters. I would write scripts for fighters. I set up beefs for fights. I write out scripts. I mean, everything reality TV anyway. You know, maybe you should team up with Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia showed niggas how to invest the money and how to have a business side. And Adrien Broner showed guys how to promote and market themselves and how to sell a fight and write scripts for guys. Why not? Oh, you should say this, but you got to say it like this. Man, Broner had more money. Broner had more money than he did when he fought. In my opinion, he had more money than he did when he fought. You know, but, you know, like I continue to say, man, you know, Blair, I figured Blair will win because I said that Blair, I don't see Blair getting out of street, I don't never seen Blair really out of shape. You know, he seemed like a naturally thin guy. And Adrien Broner, man, the nigga looked like, he was drinking Hennessy and doing other things, pot belly. So his camp was fighting, trying to get down to shape, get in shape and cut the weight down. Blair camp was just probably about strategy. You got to remember, they fought 10 rounds. It wasn't 12. So, Blair, for a 2-year layoff, man, people don't understand that if for Adrien Broner to have to strip that weight off and go 10 rounds, I think it was amazing that they went as hard as they did. And it's just to the point for Adrien Broner, he's always had problems with letting his hands go. This was just people don't talk about. Make sure y'all thumbs up the video, man. He's always had problems with letting his hands go. And one of the reasons I noticed about his hand problem, his ability to let his hands go, I looked at it before. His stance was too wide. His stance is too wide. That stance is just meant for throwing 1 or 2 power punches. And Adrien Broner never brought his stance in, never got on his toes to throw more punches. He threw more feints tonight than he threw more punches. He feinted more than he threw punches. So, I mean, even when he threw punches, it didn't look well. Even he threw punches in the past, it just didn't really look fluid. Adrien Broner needs you to stay still for him to get off. Pause. He needs you to stay still, and then if you notice when you duck your head down, Adrien Broner like to put his elbow over the back of your neck and hold you down, and then punch up under you. He needs you to be stationary to punch. Adrien Broner base is just too wide. It's always been too wide. Even when he was bigger and stronger than guys like Elroy Perez and them guys at 130, he was just bigger and stronger than them. His punch, a lot of people feel like he lost his HBO debut versus Ponce de Leon's. Daniel Ponce de Leon's. A lot of people feel like he lost that. And Ponce de Leon's was maneuvering around him and exposing him for his wide base. So Adrien Broner really just never had the feet work, bro. That was the difference between a nigga like Floyd and him. Floyd was, more technical. Adrien Broner, I think, naturally was a stronger and more gifted puncher. Obviously, I think Floyd was a better athlete, but Adrien Broner was a more better athlete. But the problem with AB was, his feet. He had lead feet. He was a very flat-footed fighter. Never really learned to get on his toes. Never closed his base, and that really hampered him in throwing punches and bunches. So then, when the trauma came in, when he started, getting out of shape, doing shit out the ring, taking abuse in and out the ring. And then, on top of his base being too wide and not really getting off, and then you throw in the abuse and the physical abuse and getting gunshot. Yeah, it was a recipe for disaster. Blair Cobb knew exactly what he had to do. And Blair Cobb, if he had more activity, he would have stopped Adrien Broner. Adrien Broner wouldn't have made it out the first 4 or 5 rounds of that fight. Had Blair Cobb had a fight 6 months before the end, shit, maybe even a year before the end, Blair Cobb would have stopped Adrien Broner. And I like what one of the commentators said. He said it ain't no substitute for no real fight. He said sparring don't keep you sharp like a real fight, and that's what I've been saying. He said he was relaying that hook and missed all. Yeah, look at his feet, bro. He said Floyd was better than ever. I think he was a better natural puncher than Floyd, and I think he was naturally stronger than Floyd too. But look at his build compared to Floyd build though. Adrien Broner is wide and he built more powerful than Floyd. Like he's a more stubby guy than Floyd. Like he's naturally stronger than Floyd. You can tell. He's just naturally more stronger. But you can look how wide he built. Look how wide Adrien Broner back is. And I think he's a naturally heavier handed guy than Floyd. But Floyd was had better speed. He had better everything else. Footwork, speed. But Broner was just a physical specimen as far as an athlete for a boxer. Look at Tank. Tank, he's shorter than Floyd, but look how he built. He built like a tank. He built strong. Low to the ground. Another wide back motherfucker. He's a strong built fighter. You got different body build structures, but Adrien Broner was gifted. I mean, Roger did the world mix with him. He said I was surprised by his strength. He said he was a lot stronger than I thought he was. But you can't give a motherfucker work ethic, and you can't just keep these guys active. Al Heyman at one point they said had around 400 over 450 fighters. That's what they said. Al Heyman had over 450 fighters. How do you keep all them motherfuckers active? You know, on Showtime, he might have had 20 dates at his best on Showtime. It's impossible. It's impossible. So, you just, you pray to get his life on track, man. You pray he don't go out there and crash out. He got kids. Um, and like I said, the telltale sign is gonna be when these PBC fighters retire. It's like a car. Like you buy a car, and like I always say, the best things about buying used cars is you can read the consumer report, a thorough consumer report. You know, when you buy a new car, it really ain't no consumer report on a new car. You buying it new, so you are the test driver. Okay, you know it's gonna have a light problem, or the turn signal, is got a glitch, or there's an electrical problem in the dash or whatever like that. And even though in most of those cases, under warranty, the dealership or the warranty is gonna take care of that. It's gonna be a fucking inconvenience, but you experiment. It's like having a first child. But you get a car about 5, 10 years old, you read the consumer report. Oh, this, that, and the third, you gotta do this. Okay, you got to drop on it. So I think after you see these guys retire, and it may not be 5 to 7 years after they retire. It might be a year after a lot of these PBC retires. And you're gonna really see what that Al Heyman life gonna be like. It's gonna be a lot of PBC fighters on their knuckles. They thought that little bit of money that they was getting was gonna last forever. Some of them guys you heard talking about here in Jamil Charlo, he did an interview with Steven Jackson. He was talking about investing his money. So at least he was investing his money, and a lot of these guys invested their money. So hopefully they did, man, for a rainy day. He said he can't let them go because he can't handle what's coming back. He's scared. I think that's the point of it too. I talked about trauma damage that he took in and out the ring, but I think his footwork. I mean, he wasn't known for letting his hands go in his prime. Unless the target was stationary. Adrien Broner wasn't just letting his hands flow like that. His opponent had to be pinned to the ropes or be standing right in front of him. Adrien Broner, very first fight on HBO versus Daniel Ponce de Leon, he exposed that wide base, and a lot of people feel like he got a gift in that fight. I remember watching that fight. That's the first time I heard about the guy. First time I heard about him. Shout out to Johnson. So, I mean, it is what it is, and you see what Don King or if anybody want to pick up Blair Cobb, it's slim pickings right now. I hear rumors that Top Rank obviously did sign Vito Melanecki, White Magic. That's Kobe boy, White Magic, where they was basically saying that his dad said they was loyal to Al Heyman and now they left. But then you see a story with Brandon Figueroa re-up with PBC. But apparently Vito Melanecki, if Xander Zayas win, I guess Saturday, that they planning on doing Vito Melanecki versus Xander Zayas. Let me say this. I'm not impressed with Xander Zayas. I don't see it. But he young. Wilder, who had a better career, AB or Wilder? Ooh. I'm going to go ahead and say, I don't know, bro. Because it's difficult for heavyweights because people say, well, Wilder never unified. Well, never did. Larry Holmes didn't. But I'm going to give it to Wilder. I'm gonna give it to Wilder off the simple fact I think Wilder got the third most consecutive title defenses or fourth most consecutive heavyweight title defenses. So I'm gonna give it to him off that. That's hard to do. And Adrien Broner, yeah, he got belts, but can y'all remember the belts he won off of motherfuckers? Was it he won one off John Molina, he won one off Akdamadov at 140. He got a gift versus Paula Malignaggi for a belt a lot of people think. So I barely remember the fucking belts that Adrien Broner won, to be honest. I'm going to give it to Wilder. And, Wilder knocked niggas out. Adrien Broner didn't even have no boxing shoes on. He had Adidas on. Oh, that was just Adidas shoes on? Yeah, he had that mouthpiece from Walmart. Yeah, Zayas is young. I ain't going to call him a hype job yet, but Zayas is young. If he grow into his frame, he going to be a problem, I think. Yeah, he said Wilder still fighting quality shows. Wilder done. And at least he didn't marry that bitch. But, that's why she pulling the DV thing on him. Because, she trying to get some money. She probably trying to extort him and shit. And Big Baby Miller went in on him on Instagram because Big Baby Miller was smashing old girl first. He said, I told Wilder, like, some niggas just don't listen, bro. Your homeboy can tell you, oh, she a bopper, or, we ran her the other night and fall in love with her. They don't want to listen. So sometimes you can't talk sense to your homeboy about a girl. Sometimes it's damn near impossible, to be honest, bro. And I ain't gonna act like I ain't been like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we all done fell in love with a little hoe before, whatever. But hoes be cool. I always say that shit though. But he fell in love with her. Sometimes women can do things that make you ignore some shit. They'll pander to you too. They'll learn you. They'll do everything to get you to commit to them, and then they'll just start turning into a whole different type of animal. But they still got a child together. I think at least one child together. She wanted the ring, but these women, man, they don't really be caring about these niggas, man. Especially with money, bro. Like, it's sad. AB best win is Paulie. He barely got that win. He said, but AB jumped weight class. Well, Wilder couldn't. But hey, I ain't mad at it. He said, I don't see it with Zayas. Me neither, but I'm giving him some time. Wilder only fought one. Well, that's because he a heavyweight. I mean, shit, what you want him to do? Go to super heavyweight, nigga? Shout out to CJ on the real deal analyst for the tough boxing need this type of analyst. Yeah, everybody don't say that, but hey, it is what it is. Support the channel, Cash App, $sign, CJ Good 313. Dillian White got Wilder girl too. Did it? Man, I ain't hitting shit Dillian White hit. I'm sorry. Certain niggas I ain't hitting their hit, man. I ain't gonna lie. Me and my homie, we was talking about this chick at the gym and shit. He was like, yeah, she used to be married and shit. I'm like, why I be attracted to bitches that be divorced? Like, what is wrong with y'all boy? But this chick, she cold blooded. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. She was staring. I be thinking about it. Like, man, that bitch got that divorce trauma. Them hoes be crazy. They be alcoholic. I don't think she alcoholic. She might be crazy. Well, then the box good if she crazy. But hey, he said AB never been KO Wilder. Man, I ain't really worried about if he got stopped. That's part of the game. That's part of the game. AB fight not to get KO'd a lot of his fights. So I don't really think that factor into it. Okay. Roy got knocked out a bunch of times, especially the Antonio Tarver. Do that make Adrien Broner better than Roy? My thing is, how's Adrien Broner's career more memorable? What's his best win is Paulie, and that was a gift. That was a gift. That was a gift. I don't want to see White fight. Wilder need to go sit his ass down. Adrien Bro's best win is a gift. His most action-packed fight was a loss to Madonna. I'm just saying. His other claim to fame was Errol Spence knocking his ass out in the gym and Freddie Roach snitching about it. Barry Hunter was lying, talking about it didn't happen. Freddie Roach was like, the fuck it didn't. I seen it. I was there. That shit was funny. Freddie Roach said, I was there. Freddie Roach was like, I was there. I seen it. that whole era was hilarious. Adrien Broner really was going around lying like that shit didn't happen. Freddie Roach said, bullshit. I was there. That shit. Oh man, that shit was hilarious. That shit was hilarious. AB was like, I was there. I mean, Freddie was like, I was there. I seen it. I seen it with my own two eyes. Now I gotta find an interview because that shit was funny. Who said who's better? AB way better rapper than Wilder. I ain't never. Come on, man. I think I hear Wilder sing rap. If you sing and rapping, I ain't with it. When AB did the freestyle over TK's the race was still bang to this day. That shit was fire. He said, "Fuck Nevada, I ain't going back to that state." After he knocked old boy out on the strip. He said Paul low-key did win that fight. I'm telling you, bro. But nigga, we both about to give it to Paulie old hating ass. AB still won the fight, even though I think Paulie probably won that fight. Lavish salute. He said AB was a great promo boy. Yeah, he was for sure. For sure. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, I was at Vargas and Adrien Broner fight. Yeah, yeah, man. This is one chick. I think she was from Harlem. She was trying to get me to go home with her and shit. This black chick. But only reason I ain't go home with her, and I mean I don't know why I invited her back to my hotel, but only reason I ain't go home with her, cause my flight left at 6, so it wasn't gonna be no way I'm gonna go all the way to Harlem and then come all the way back to like Queens Flushing and go. That shit was hilarious. She was trying to get me to go so bad with her, bro. That shit was hilarious. But she was cool than a motherfucker though. She was real cool. He said I don't remember people talking about Wilder 12 or 13 because he was fighting 15 times a fucking day, 15 times a year on the undercard to the undercard. Everyone's hyping up AB while Bud should have been getting all the hype. Well, Bud, well, he had just started getting discovered by Top Rank. AB was a character. He said, "Do you think Tank will avenge the loss like Floyd did for AB?" Hell no. Fuck, Tank need to fight Blair Cobb for. It's a waste of time. Remember this show all about his show all about Biz on YouTube was heat, bro. I used to watch that shit every week it came out. He should have kept that shit. Somebody should have picked that up. Hey, mate, I mean, AB was entertaining as hell. Bro, I thought AB lost that Paulie. A lot of people did. We can't give it to that hating ass Paulie. Paulie don't like the brothers. We can't get that to Paulie. We'll never tell that to his face. Say AB, I beat that boy. Ian took his girl. Ian took his girl. You got been about my side piece. You got been about my side piece. That shit was funny. Adrien from the hood, Broner got cooked. Yeah. That's not like Blair ain't from Philly, though. Come on now. Philly's a fighting town. Broad Street Bully. AR Ab, Scooty D, Corrupt really from Philly, Gilly. Philly got some of the best rappers of all time. Cassidy, even though him and Gilly was beefing. Philly's Most Wanted. Like Philly, yeah, you think about it, man. Petey Crack, Young Chris, Eve, wasn't she from Philly? Yeah, Philly had some of the best MCs of all time. That's why Jay-Z went to Philly and got state property of them niggas, man. Bean's one of the greatest lyricists of all time. Philadelphia Freeway, one of my favorite albums of all time. So Philly, man, they right up there, some of the greatest rappers of all time. I don't think too many places can, especially if it's just square miles. Can't put too many places fuck with Philly, bro. Yeah, Philly, them niggas is dope. Meek, low key, Lil Uzi Vert can really rap too. He just on some sassy shit. Real talk. Yeah, them niggas Philly a problem rapping. Had some of the best underground rappers for years in the early 2000s too. That's why Jay-Z went there to sign them niggas so he could steal their style and shit. He stole Young Chris' whole style. Abused and used Benny Siegel. Broner disrespect Haney just to get done like that. Yeah. I just finished getting some mission complete. Look at you, bro. Hope you pulled out with the rubber. You already got a kid. You working on kid number 2. Shit, that college check, that little career check, gonna be going right to Tiffany. He said Mikey and Manny at 40. Oh, I got Manny Pacquiao, no doubt. He said if AB was good, his mouthpiece would have been legendary. Pause. Broner really speak on Devin Haney after Devin lost though. Well, in that interview I sent you, he said Devin Haney the bro too. He said just Tank more, Tank is more his brother. So he gonna ride with Tank over Devin. He said that's a little bro too. He said how Adrien Broner gonna disrespect Devin Haney get beat up. Blair versus Barrios. I got Barrios. I like to see Barrios and what's the kid name? From Atlanta, Brian Norman. I like to see that. If they want Brian Norman to get Blair a shot, that'd be interesting. Brian Norman a problem. If he fixes focus, I think if he fixes mental lapses, because I think that's where his defense kind of fall off at as the mental lapses. Brian Norman would be a motherfucking problem for real if he could just stay focused for a whole 36 minutes. Who wins Mikey Lomachenko 2018? I'm gonna go with Lomachenko at this point. He said no offense to Barrio, no offense to Barrios. He said, but he's trash. I can't call Barrios trash. Barrios straight. Barrios nice. You know, he been in there tough though. You got to give it to him. He been in there with Tank. He was beating Tank. It looked like he been in there with Keith. You know, you got to remember Barrios started off like 122, 126 pounds. A lot of people got to realize that. Yeah, Brian Norman a problem. Ngannou just lost a son, so I don't even think when his baby sons just passed. So I don't think you gonna see him for a minute, bro. Yeah, he had a kid that just passed and shit. For instance, Ngannou. He got any questions? I answer him. He said well, make sure hit the thumbs up button. He said he tough, but I can't. Barrio's not a trash fighter. Like nah. If he trashed, then what you think Blair Cobb is? To be real. Because, you think, Barrios could beat Cody Crowley. I think he'd beat Cody Crowley. I think he beat David Avanesian. I think he beat a lot of the welterweights out there. Let's keep it real. Well, he might beat Earl Spence at this point. Shit, ain't shit left of him. If ain't shit left of him. So, saying a little more. Hell no. Blair Cobb, man, Mario Barrios will smoke Blair Cobb. You out your rabbit ass mind. You out your rabbit ass mind. That's two different levels. That's no offense to Blair Cobb. That's two different levels. Blair's trash though. I had Barrios been in there, he would have got stopped. He said Blair's trash though. Barrios would have got the stoppage. I think he would have stopped Adrien Broner tonight. I think y'all selling Barrios kind of short. I ain't saying he the greatest thing since sliced bread. I didn't say Blair. Oh, who you comparing? Who gonna beat Barrios at the welterweight division? You got Boots, possibly Brian Norman. Who else? Bud still kind of hold a few belts, but we know he gone. Who gonna beat him? That's what I want to know. Who gonna whoop him? Who gonna whoop him? Who gonna whoop him? Shit, Barrios might be a top 5 welterweight right now. Man, but Barrios is smoke Avanesian. I ain't gonna say he'll smoke him, but I got Barrios. I got Sario Barrios. Y'all just hating because Barrios Mexican, bro. I never like Mexicans on this channel. Why they ain't make boots for Barrios? They ain't had no money. PBC ain't had no money. That's why Cody Crowley didn't take the fight. Boots ain't want nothing with not want no smoke with Barrios. Boots ain't want no smoke with Barrios. Gary Anti-Russell ain't fought nobody. I ain't trying to hear that. Boots ain't want no smoke with Barrios. That's why he ran the match room. Why somebody really run with that shit? Oh, CJ said Boots was scared of Barrios, nigga. He ain't no Boots. He ain't no Boots. He ain't no Boots. That's why I was literally take that shit serious. Blair was running out of steam. Anybody? Well, he was out the ring for 2 years, my nigga. He been out the ring for 2 years. Adrien Broner ain't do shit for the first half of the fight, of course. He said Jerron a really 50. Man, if you could make 100, Errol Spence was a real 54, and I ain't hear one of you niggas make an excuse about that shit. I don't hear nothing about weight, bro. None. Boots like he make 147 pounds quite comfortably to me. I ain't hear y'all say nothing about Paul Williams. I ain't hear y'all say nothing about Antonio Margarita. I ain't hear y'all say nothing about a lot of them big ass fucking welterweights throughout the history. I ain't trying to hear it. I ain't trying to hear it. Y'all always trying to say, "Oh, this nigga really, man." What the scale say? What the scale say? The scale say he make 147. That's what he is. I don't really understand this whole infatuation with weight. But Canelo come in a cruiserweight versus motherfuckers, and y'all cool with it. Y'all on better eye. And then came in as a cruiserweight versus a career 140 pound Amir Khan was getting pieced up for half the fight, but y'all don't say nothing. Shit wild to me. Shit super duper wild. Boots ain't got enough activity to be ready for Bud. He got a lot of fights, but you think he probably could been at 40 fights with a respectable promoter. He been ready if he had a promoter that gave Boots motion, Boots would be ready for Bud. But his career got stagnated. Who you got? Boots and Norman. Boots right now. Boots a little bit too polished for Norman. I think Norman got a little bit more polishing to do. Zhang was 60 pounds bigger than Wilder. Nobody said nothing. Nope, they don't make no excuses. I mean, Fury was big as hell. Shout out to Usyk. Usyk had, he wrestled, so he understood center of gravity. And people said, why didn't I heard Cunningham did the interview with Town, and he was basically said, why didn't Fury just lay on him? He could not lay on him. You notice how, Usyk won those them clinches, bro, how he controlled. It was a video Coach Malachi showed on Twitter how he controlled his arms, and I was also seeing how he was dropping his weight, getting up under Tyson Fury. See, that's why, they tell you should put your kids in as many sports. And I was listening to Mario Lopez. He had an interview with Bud, him and Stevie Kim podcast, and he said that him and Bud, I believe, agreed that one sport your kids should always do is wrestling, because it always teaches them to to find a way. It teaches them not to quit. You know what I'm saying? So he said that's one of the sports you should do, and those motions in wrestling translate to other sports. Great wrestlers make great football players, especially offensive, defensive linemen. I'm pretty sure they do great in baseball too. Catchers, running bases. It teaches you really center of gravity, and leverage. It teaches you great things. Like, it's good for probably basketball, boxing out. It translates to so many different sports. Probably help you in tennis, help you in golf. You know what I'm saying? They say once you learn to wrestle, you don't even want to throw hands no more. It's one of the more underrated martial arts. And it's a little bit different when you talk about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because you need somebody to get on the ground and wrestle with you and shit. Wrestling, nigga throw hands, you dip under them, you grab them by the waist, you put them on their ass. So that's why you see a lot of wrestlers have a lot of success in the UFC, because then all they got to learn is the hand-to-hand combat. And most UFC fighters, hand-to-hand combat, the combat at best is usually a C+. So at best it's, they really ain't got no hands like that. But their striking is evolving. Rolly or AB, man, come on, man. At this point, shit, Rolly might stop AB ass. Rolly might stop AB. I see him tonight. Benavidez Vivo. Let me see what Benavidez look like next weekend. But I'll probably lean towards Benavidez. He says Frank Martin beat Tank. He fighter of the year. I don't care what anybody say. I said it. Skating Calhoun said them hating Earl picking his fighter. I won't take on a body bag notice. Frank ain't got no chance of winning that fight. Sorry to tell you. And then they gonna say Frank took the Osterine like Ryan Garcia. Well, mark my words. He's not chinning Abdul Wahid Frank Martin. Oh, Abdul Wahid Nick Nack. Usyk fighter of the year. Frank not on that level. He beat Tank. I might have to give it to him. He beat Tank. We giving him the United States fighter of the year. Fuck it. Do you think Frank got it? No chance. That's what ballpark Frank got. Don't let you niggas don't be using ballpark Frank, bro, on other channels. That's my shit. He said for sure it's good for clinching, boxing, football, simply tackling. Nah, you got blocking. You got rushing the passer. Hell yeah, it's better for all that shit. The best offensive linemen, especially the undersized centers, usually wrestle. Hell yeah, that shit translates to every motherfucking thing. Fighting at the club, UFC, WWE, PE, and God knew hands is dangerous. And yeah, he a problem. Yeah, I won't fight that nigga. He got to see my 4'5". I'm not fighting that big African nigga. It's my girl now. Yep, it's your girl. I'm not fighting that nigga. You giving matchmaking ideas. Commentary niggas. He said, Tank, Frank, I'm doing 12-pack on Frank on the grill. 12-pack of Frank. Yeah, that's what Tank about to do. Tank probably gonna be Gobbler. What's the nigga name from Spider-Man, the Green Goblin? He gonna be the ballpark Glizzy Gobbler on June 15th. Because he like to kiss niggas and wear purses and shit. Aaron Donald, undersized beast of defensive line. He might be right up there. He might be the greatest interior lineman. Sapp was undersized too. Him, Sapp, John Randall, all great undersized defensive tackles. You know what I'm saying? All great ones. Um, so yeah, man, Jerome Brown probably would have been one of the greatest defensive tackles of all time, but he died in that car accident. Then I think his nephew passed with him in that car. Boxing footwork translates to cornerbacks for football. He said Gabe Davis, Olympic gold medalist, wrestling not signed the Bills. Yeah, I read that. I thought he was going to the WWE. I guess it didn't work out well. You got to have personality in the WWE and then the lifestyle with the painkillers allegedly and all that shit, man. The racial undertones and shit like that. So, yeah, I want to understand why you don't want to be really part of that lifestyle and they always traveling. So, then also the MMA, UFC gave him an offer, but that's iffy. You got to catch block punches and learn to kick and shit. So yeah, that's iffy. But let me take my ass to bed. This dude got a grooming appointment in the morning, and I'm about to take him back out. But he said them NFL players gonna try Gabe Stevenson in the locker room. They love to fight in those. They ain't done. They not about to try him. They know who not. They don't even try James Johnson in the NBA locker room. They not about to try. That's one thing they not gonna try. They not gonna try no Gabe Stevenson. They not dumb. You know what type of shape that motherfucker's in to wrestle? They got no chance. He said corner one of the hardest positions to play in football. Yep, outside of quarterback. Yep, it's cornerback. Let me get out of here, man. Take this dude to use the bathroom one more time and freeze my ass off outside. But hey, peace. If I learn how to end the stream, there we go. Nope. I don't even know how to end this shit. Hold on. Oh, there we go. There we go. Peace.